statement says is that you need to write an assembly language program for 8086 microprocessor for addition of 100 numbers, and all those numbers are of 8-bit numbers only. That means, say for example, there are numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, like up to 100. So your result should be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus and so on up to plus 100. What will be the addition of 100 numbers? This is the problem statement, and for that you are writing the program. And here the numbers that you are taking, I told you that here you need to add 100 numbers. You need to add 100 numbers, and they need not to be in a sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4. Those numbers may not be 1, 2, 3, 4. They can be varying, but you need to keep in your mind that when you are taking the numbers, all the numbers should be of 8-bit only. All the numbers should be of 8-bit size only. Like that, you need to take 100 numbers, and the result should be addition of all those 100 numbers. For that, today we'll be learning the ALP. ALP in the sense assembly language program. Now moving on to the programming part. So here the first statement, here we are assuming code will be there in code segment and data will be there in data segment. So if you understand the problem statement, then you can easily write the data segment. That means what is the data that you are giving as an input, that you can easily understand if you can understand the problem statement. So here the problem statement is giving three informations. One is the operation that you need to perform is addition. That is the first information that the statement is giving. And the second thing is that you are performing the addition operation for 100 numbers. You're performing it for 100, not 2 or 3. You're performing it for 100 numbers. That means here a loop is going to be included in this particular program. A loop or a number of instructions may needs to be repeated. Number of instructions may need to be repeated. That means a concept of macro may come into the picture, macro or program. So here one thing, you can write loop or you may need to introduce macro. That information is given from this series of 100 numbers. And next thing is that all the numbers should be of 8-bit length. That means while you are informing the processor about the allocation of address, you need to inform the processor that I'm taking numbers, 100 numbers, where number should be of 8-bit. So these three information will be is there in this particular problem statement. See here, data segment. So now I'm taking two variables. My first variable is series and the second variable is count. First variable is series and the second variable is count. The second is I'm assigning the numbers. As I have to add 100 numbers, I'm assigning all those 100 numbers to a variable called series, and here I'm defining db. Why am I defining db? Because problem statement is saying that every number should be of 8-bit. 8-bit means byte. So define byte. I'm taking db and I'm representing my 100 numbers, 1, 2, 3, like that up to 100. I'm taking the first 100 only. You can take any 100 numbers, but make sure each number should be of 8-bit. I'm taking the first 100 numbers, 1, 2 up to so on 100. And the second variable that I'm taking is count. What exactly my second variable stores? My second variable stores how many numbers I'm adding. Here I'm adding 100 numbers. The problem statement is saying that I need to add 100 numbers. So to the count, I'm taking 100. After 100, here I haven't mentioned H. Here I have mentioned D. What does that D indicates? D indicates that this 100 is a decimal number. 100 is a decimal number. This is not the data where you need to perform operation. This is the data where you need to perform the addition operation. This is simply a decimal number that will be stored in a variable called count. I'm repeating once again, this is the data which represents only how many numbers you are adding. You're not going to perform any operation on this particular decimal number. You will be performing your operation on these numbers which you have defined in a variable called series. So I have defined my the data what I would like to use in my program. I have defined in my data, and I'm closing my data segment with a statement of endes. I open data segment and here I'm closing my data segment. Opening and closing of the data segment I represented with one particular color that you can observe that. Yes, I have defined my data. And next I need to write the program. So where can I write the program? I can write the program in code segment. So I'm opening my code segment and I'm starting my program. See here, first thing, when we start the program, first thing that we need to do is that we need to initialize the data segment. We need to initialize data segment. In order to initialize the data segment, these two lines are common. First thing, the data will be moved on to AX, and from AX, the data will be moved on to the data segment. Data cannot be directly moved on to the data segment. Data has to be moved on to the data segment through a register. Here I'm making use of AX registers. That is the reason why these two lines are common. Data cannot be directly transferred to the data segment. It has to be transferred to the data segment through the register only. So that is about the first two lines. And what I have written the third line, in third line, what I'm doing, I'm moving offset of series. So here I have taken a variable called series. So address of that, a specific of that, where here offset represent a specific address. So a specific address of my variable series, I'm transferring that to SI. So see here, I'm just assuming that initial value of series, initial value of address is going to be 100. Here I have written my move SI comma offset series. So here I'm just assuming that these are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the numbers where each number is allotted with some specific address. So these numbers 100, 101, 102, 103 up to 200, these will be representing the series address. I have taken a variable called series, right? And the address, the memory address that has been allotted by the processor that I'm representing here. So these are all the address values, and these are all the value that is present at this particular address. Say for example, at an address of 100, the value present is 1H. At an address of 101, the value present is 2. At an address of 102, the value present is 3. Like that, at an address of 200, 200 is the address. At an address of 200, the value present is 100H. So here, particular statement SI comma. So after the execution of this particular statement, SI will carry the starting address. SI will carry the starting address. That is nothing but 100. So after the execution of this particular statement, SI will have a value of 100. That means, as SI is a source index, as it can store only the address, it will be storing the address of this series. The starting address of the series is nothing but 100. In this particular example, I have considered it as 100. So after the execution of this particular statement, SI will be having the address location of 100. Okay, and now in this particular statement, I'm moving count. Here, count I have assigned to the 100. That means I'm going to add 100 numbers. So that 100, the number 100 will be transferred to the CL. So SI will have the starting address of the series, and CL will have how many numbers you are going to add. So CL will have, after execution of this particular numbers, and after the execution of this particular statement, SI will have the 100 represent address. Here it will address. SI will have address of 100. CL will have a count of 100. Okay. And next, here I'm taking a label. I'm taking a label called addition of series. This label can be of your wish. You can have any label. As I told you that the problem statement is saying that it is the addition of series of 100. So here I need to go either with macro, or here I need to go either with loop. Instead of going with loop, I'm going with macro, and I'm defining my macro name as addition of series. You can write anything. The labeling can be of anything. I'm just adding the problem statement as my label number, addition of series. So after execution of this, SI will have a address location of 100, and CL will have a count of 100. So here what I'm doing, move DL comma content of SI. Move DL comma content of SI. See here, this particular statement will move the address of SI, address of series to the SI. So now SI is having an address of 100. So what this statement is saying? This statement is saying that move content of SI. Content of SI means What SI is carrying? SI is carrying an address location of 100. Content of SI means what is the value? What is the value that is stored at a location of 100? The meaning of this particular statement is that you just transfer the value that is there in a location where the location is being stored in SI. SI is storing a location of 100. So this statement is saying that what is present at 100th location, transfer that value to DL. See the example. At 100 location, at a location of 100, what is the value that is stored? At a location of 100, the value stored is 1. So after the execution of this particular statement, DL will be having the value of 1. DL will have the value of 1. So after the execution of this statement, DL will be having a value of 1. I'm repeating once again. In this particular statement is saying that move DL comma offset of SI. That means content of SI. What is the content? SI is having a address location. What is the value at that address location? That value is called as content of SI. The value where 100. Look at the example. This is the 100. That is nothing but the address that is being stored in SI. At this particular address location, what is the value that I have considered? The value that is I have considered is 1. So after the execution of this particular statement, DL will be having 1. And in the next statement, I'm just making AL as 0. I'm just transferring AL value to 0 to make sure that it is not carrying any what we call temporary values, as accumulator is having a nature of storing the intermediate result. In order to make it 0, I'm just considering AL is having 0. So now I'm performing my addition. To whom I'm performing my addition operation? I'm performing my addition operation to AL and DL. What does the AL contains? AL contains 0. And what does the DL contains? After the execution of this statement, DL is containing 1. So here, after the execution of this statement, now AL will be having 0 plus 1, that is equals to 1. So as of now, after the execution of this statement, 1 is the result and that result will be automatically stored in AL only. So now AL is having 1. So now what am I doing? I'm incrementing SI. I'm incrementing SI. What does the SI contains? SI is, as of now, it is containing 100. So now I'm incrementing SI. Incrementing SI means now after the execution of this statement, SI will have plus 1, that is equals to 101. I hope you people are following this particular statement. Till this particular statement, SI is carrying a value of 100 and now I'm incrementing my SI value. Incrementing SI means incrementing it by a value of 1. So now SI will be incremented to 101. Till now SI is having 100 and after the increment SI, now SI is carrying an address value of 101. It is carrying an address value of 101. And what is the next statement? Decrement CL. What does the CL contains? CL is containing 100. So now I'm decrementing. So after the execution of this, now CL will have 100 minus 1, that is equals to 99. Please try to understand this. SI has been incremented and CL has been decremented. After incrementing SI, now the SI will be storing an address location of 101 and CL will have a count of 99. And here I'm writing one conditional statement. What is that conditional statement? J and Z. J and Z. What does that means? Jump if non-zero. Now it will be looking into INC value and decrement value. It will be looking into the CL value, J and Z. This particular instruction, it will look at the value of CL. What is the value of CL? Now the value of CL is 99. J and Z, jump if non-zero. 99 means it is a non-zero. So this condition is satisfied. Jump if non-zero. Where should it jump? If it is a non-zero value. If CL is a non-zero value, it has to jump to a label called addition of series. It has to jump to a label called addition of series. So now the controller will transfer to addition of series. And now it has transferred to addition of series. And what is there in addition of series? Move DL comma content of SI. See here in the first controlling execution, SI is having 100. And now we have executed these two statements. So after the execution of this particular statement, now SI is having 101, CL is having 99. Here jump if non-zero to addition of series, as CL is a 99, as it is a non-zero. So now controller, instead of moving on to this particular instruction, it will be going back to the macro, because these instructions are to be repeated until unless CL becomes zero. Until unless CL becomes zero, these instructions are to be repeated. So instead of copying these instructions so many times, I have written this instruction at one place and I assigned them a macro called as addition of series. So now addition of series, it will be moving on to addition of series, and now this will be move DL comma content of SA. What is SA value? SA value is 101. What is the content at 101? Move on to the example. The content of 101. 101 is the address location and the content of 101 is 2. So now in second loop, like in the second time, after the execution of this, the DL will be having, after execution of this particular statement, the DL will have 2. DL will have 2. Move AL comma 0H. So now at this particular statement, this instruction is not required. In this program, this is not required. Okay. So now I have moved on. DL value is having 2, and now I'm performing AL comma DL. Already AL is having 1. Already AL is having 1, and now the DL value is 2. So now the operation will be 1 plus 2. That is going to be 3. That is going to be 3. So AL now AL is going to store a value of 3. Again, I'm incrementing SA value. What is the SA value as of now? 101. So now I have to increment it by 1. So now it is going to be 102. And I'm decrementing CL minus 1. Decrementing CL minus 1. What is it going to be? It is going to be 98. And here it is asking for non-zero value. CL is having 98. 98 means a non-zero value. So again, it has to move on to this particular statement. Move DL comma content of SI at a place of 1 or 2. Now in this particular repetition, SI value is 1 or 2. SI value is 1 or 2 means what is the content at 1 or 2? Content at 1 or 2 is 3H. Content at 1 or 2 is 3H. So now DL value is going to be 3. And now here you are performing add AL comma DL. What is the value of AL in previous case? 3. So 3 plus the content of DL right now is 3. Now the value is going to be 6. And again increment SI. Incrementing SI means it will be turning to 3. Decrementing CL means it will be turning to 97. So like this process will be continued until the CL value becomes 0. This process will continue until CL value becomes 0. Once if the CL value becomes 0, what will happen? See, jump if non-zero. If it is a non-zero value, then only these instructions are to be executed. But now CL value has become 0. So it need not to jump to this particular statement. It will move on to int 03H. That means it is terminating the program, and hence the program will be completely executed and the final result is going to be stored in AL. So this is how the addition of series of 100 numbers is going to be performed.